All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham YAHAWAH QADASH. Double honor to the elders, the elder apostles, and the elders of GMS. All right, peace, salutations, blessings to all the Archangel labor is true. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Salutations, shalom to the like-minded brothers, doing this work. All right, and to all you listeners and believers, shalom. All right, and I taught this lesson, America, the hammer of the earth, referring to Jeremiah chapter 50. And we're going to get into it, a little while through the spirit, through the YAHAWAH QADASH. All right, and, it'll be edifying. Let me share the screen here. So I'm going to start here in Jeremiah chapter 50. Jeremiah chapter 50. I'll start at verse 22. So a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. All right. And what we got going on, a sound of battle. And we understand through the prophecies, all right, what it's going to lead to. It's going to lead, any battle is going to be, cause destruction. But, hey, this is going to lead into World War III, the war to end all wars. All right. And the greatest destruction, the earth has ever seen going to be over here in America, which is Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right. This is the Roman, Rome 2.0. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? All right. And again, title lesson, America, the hammer of the earth. All right. Because when these devils come over here, and conquered, conquered these lands. All right. Since they come over here into power, into America, what have they done? They have basically, hammered themselves into power throughout the earth. That's why it's calling them, the hammer of the whole earth, referring to, America, Babylon the Great. It says, how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right, through the words of Hamashiach. All right, this is prophecy being fulfilled. Though America, has sat on high, the time has come for hey, just like I said, the Lord said, I will bring thee down. Was that in Malachi chapter 4? Malachi chapter 1, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, Malachi chapter 1, verse 4 says, whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we return and build desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and call them the border of wickedness, and the people whom the Lord had in nation forever. That's not the one I was wanting. Let me see if I can find and bring the down. There's a lot. Salakia. Yes, Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock. All right, this is going to, Esau, Edom, says, whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? All right, hey, that's the mindset of, the modern day American. All right, this you look around, you see, everything, all these proud ass heathens, all right, these proud ass devils, and what all the merchandise say, proudly made in the USA, proud to be American, even in their national anthem and whatever, their anthems. All right. They talking about, being proud and yada. It says, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4 says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. And again, another clear indicator, all right, who this is talking about. All right. Esau, Edom, but who has the eagle? America. All right. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, with all these high-rise buildings and yeah, and they got these satellites, they got their airplanes, whatever. It says, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord, YAHAWAH, bahasham. All right. So Lord YAHAWAH, bahasham, all right, is going to bring down this empire. All right, but it's going to lead into, World War III, gathering down to the land of Jehoshaphat. All right, let me see if I get out there, seen it on here. Let me see, lock you. Yeah, Joel chapter 3, verse 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down. All right, this is how the Lord going to do it. So in the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. All right, going to, the 12 tribes. Said, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. All right, so we understand that, through prophecy, all right, the will of YAHAWAH, everything's going to play out exactly how it's written. All right, and we know that the hammer of the earth, America, is being broke down as we speak, but it's going to keep on being broken all the way up until the point where these other nations get involved, even America's allies, and rain down that fire from heaven in the form of ICBM missiles. All right. So again, back to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee. All right. The Lord has laid a trap for thee. It says, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. All right. Again, this Babylon here is referring to America. All right. This prophecy, Jeremiah, chapter 49, 50, 51. All right. And a lot of parts is referring to the modern day Babylon, which is America. All right. And thou was not aware. So, unless, the Lord had called you into his truth and, open your eyes and ears where you're able to receive this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're not going to be aware, all right, of really what is taking place. Says, just as, these devils who sit on high, all right, they're not aware of the end. All right, they're not aware of, how the movie's going to end, how this movie going to play out. All right. It says, thou art found and thou also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord YAHAWAH. So the Lord YAHAWAH, bahasham, had opened his armory. All right, and what's his modern day armory? Going into these ICBM missiles, all right, that all these other countries possess. It says the Lord had opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of YAHAWAH power, God of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. All right. Let's see. I think I was going to get something else in here. But let me get this little story I got lined up, just so we can kind of go into how America has been that hammer of the earth. All right, this is RT News. It says U.S. strikes terrorists. See, they just label everybody terrorists, and it gives them propaganda, gives them reason to go in and destroy, take over. All right. And just this top headline's all I read, but it just goes to show you. It's a drone attacking, targeting Al-Shabaab terrorists in Somalia, how you say that, is the latest in a 15-year bombing campaign. And just like, brothers often go into, I don't know the exact number, but ever since America has become, in power, out of all the, they've been at war. They've been, involved in foreign affairs, wars all over the place for, most of the last like 100 years or so. All right. And that lead me to this right here, Habakkuk chapter 2 and 5 said, yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, all right, the philosophies. So he is a proud man. Again, America being that most proud, all right. So neither keep it at home. Again, America, always off in everybody's business, trying to tell the whole world how to conduct their business. All right. Who enlargeth his desires hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. And hey, these devils, all these devils, the elites, the banking families, all right, to your upper class Edomites, hey, these devils can never get enough. They cannot be satisfied. All right, so but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Again, America, hey, they're going into all these other countries, these other nations, and basically, trying to take over. All right, trying to tell them how to run their country. And they set up puppet leaders and yada yada. All right. And at the end of the day, they get on TV and lie about it. Or, you think about, just like the towers, they wanted a reason to go into do what that, go into the Middle East over there, So these devils, set that event up. All right. And that made me think of was that wisdom? Is it Wisdom of Solomon or Ecclesiasticus? Let me see. Ecclesiasticus. Sirach chapter 10 verse 3. An unwise king destroyed his people. All right. But through the prudence of them which are on authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right, so again, unwise king, Esau, Edom, these devils whom are in power, very unwise. All right, but at the end of the day, what it said, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. All right. No, go on. Don't open the door. I'm doing a lesson. All right, so yeah, that's just what it is, man. You see the track record, all right, of the so-called American Edomite, these Europeans that come over here and conquer the land, all right. I mean, it ain't easy to tell, who the wicked are. All right, let's get that real quick in Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23, is it? It So can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? All right. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Can a leopard change his spots? So then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil? All right. So these devils that come over here, conquer this land, rape, rob, pillage, steal, kill, all of them to this day. So they are accustomed to doing evil. So how can they do good? They can't. All right. Let's see. All right, so back to Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? And who always on the increase? All right, who's always going to these other countries, taking shit that don't belong to him? All right, America. So woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And this is talking about, should not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, going into all these other countries, all right, including America's allies? It says, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, going into the debt. All right, America is indebted. All right, It says, should they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? All right, going into spools. All right, you take over. You go over to another country, take over, kill everybody. Then all their belongings are booties. They're the spools of war. Just like in the in the ancient days. If you went to war, you go kill all the men. All right, keep the women. As spools of war. Let me see. Let me get this in Revelation. Revelation chapter 17. Revelation chapter 17. All right, verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou seest, where the whore setteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That 10 horns, going into the EU, all right, and NATO. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that great whore that's sitting upon that beast is none other than America, Babylon the Great. America is sitting on these EU nations and these NATO nations, all right, is basically running the show. Everybody, all these other nations are, at the will of America, for the time being. But the time gonna come, just like I say, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, all right, and shall eat her flesh and burn her fire. And how is that going to take place? By the ICBM missiles. Okay. Let's see here. I got a couple. Slovakia. And again, that's what people don't understand. People, they don't. In order to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understand this Bible, the Lord has to be dealing with you, but you have to have teachers. You have to be taught. It's like scriptures say, roughly paraphrase, how can a man, learn unless he be taught? All right. Referring to what Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 15. The Lord has given us pastors according to his heart that shall feed us with knowledge, roughly paraphrasing. All right, starting with the elder apostles and like-minded brothers on down. Okay. The Lord has has poured out his spirit upon, the leaders of Israel in this time we are in now to, break down these scriptures, bring out the truth of the Bible, and warn the sheep. All right, and us younger brothers, we entering into other men's labors. All right, it's already made plain upon tables. The time we in now. All right, and we just sticking to the script because we're seeing prophecy play out. All right, and it's gonna continue. It's gonna continue to play out. All right, no, these people are not in control. YAHAWAH, bahasham YAHAWASHI, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI are in control. The Heavenly Father and the Son is in control. All right, YAHAWAH in control. All right, these words are not coming back void. Isaiah 55:11. It's Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. So this is your ancient war. All right, you have swords, even back when they had the muskets, the guns. I heard a brother going into that last night. They would all stand out in the field. There, it'd be a lot of noise. All right, saying garments rolled with blood because you had hand-to-hand combat back in the days. All right, but that's not where we're at now. Although there might be a little hand-to-hand combat, some shooting guns, tanks, whatever. Hey, the big boy stuff, it has to do with the missiles. All right, that's why it says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Again, going into the modern way of warfare by way of nuclear missiles, ICBM missiles. That's why in the very near future, it's gonna keep heating up all the way up until missiles are flying all over the place. All right, and ultimately, the destruction of America, Babylon the Great is gonna take place. All right, but right before we understand, before that destruction take place, that Revelation 13, 16, 17, 18 has to take place. All right. Let's see what else I can get. The weak say, I am strong. Because this is the mindset. The Lord, YAHAWASHI, is putting this in the kings of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1, I think. All right. Everything's at the will of YAHAWASHI at the end of the day. And that's what it is. Joel. I'll start verse 9. Chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. All right. So, you got Russia, China, all these allied countries to them, countries like Iran, Turkey, what was that? North Korea. All right. Hey, the Lord gonna put it in their mind to come against America, come against Babylon the Great. All right. Come against the land of Israel. That's another one. Let me get that least of the flock. Because at the end of the day, these elite bankers, all right, a lot of them reside over there in the land of Israel. Okay? And these devils, pretty much controlling the whole scenario. All right, they fund everybody. All that money, the money of the earth is with these elite families. All right, the banking families. Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 20 says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord YAHAWASHI that he had taken against Edom, and his purposes that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. All right, so we understand, hey, with all this war that's taking place right now, it's just the start of it. All right, eventually, the land of Israel is going to get involved with someone over there. And just like I say, the least of the flock is going to draw them out. The least of the flock, being the land of Israel, is going to draw out the full-scale World War III. All right, draw America into it. All right. Because what's going on now is America's just going to back off. They're going to keep backing off. They don't want to get involved because they know if they get, like brother was saying earlier, they know if they get involved, then it's going to escalate fast, and it's going to be World War III right then and there. As soon as America tries to cross the line out of their jurisdiction, because Russia ain't having that shit. The Lord put it in their mind, their heart. They ain't having that shit no more. They tired of it. They see what they understand how these devils conduct their business, and they done with it. All right, we understand this is all prophecy playing out. But hey, man, we about to witness some very bad times upon the earth. All right, so that's why it's very important to be locked in, locked in and understand what the will of the Heavenly Father is. All right, and being girded up with this truth. All right, and prayed up that YAHAWASHI, provide that hedge around you and your family, it'd be Lord will. All right. Let me get this. Jeremiah chapter 30. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 5. So verse 5. For thus said the Lord Yahawah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. All right. Again, it's going to, Jeremiah, prophesying, all right, the times to come, all right, the end times. So ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. So wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turning to paleness. All right, going into the destruction that he envisioned or seeing, all right, take place. Okay, this is how you say. Daniel had the visions. He got sick. Esdras, when he had his visions, he said, "What?" He was like, "Woe is me! Woe is me! Who would deliver me in that day?" All right, because when the Lord, put them visions on them, the future prophecies that's to take place. Hey, man, it is very terrifying, very, very, very scary. All right. So I was listening to Elder Apostle Tahar, was going into, he said, hey, man, in these times we come into, everybody going to be scared. All right. The only difference is going to make is whether you have, this wisdom, knowledge, and truth, YAHAWASHI, and you have faith, and, hey, because everybody who don't have this understanding, don't have faith in the Lord, they going to freak out. They're going to bug out. People going to lose it. All right. Verse 7 says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. What say Matthew chapter 24, the beginning of sorrows, like never was. So it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So the elect, 144,000 plus 144,000, the rest of 1/3, all right, the elect of Israel, YAHAWASHI going to preserve, going to save. That salvation going to come right before that destruction, via the chariots of the Lord, which is the so-called UFOs. All right. And again, this is a thing of faith. All right. The Lord had to open your eyes and mind to be able to receive this, to be able to see it. All right. To, like I said, Habakkuk chapter 2, the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it will not tarry, roughly paraphrasing. All right. And if the Lord has called you into this light, pulled you out of the darkness of the world, because let's say gross darkness is upon the people and the world. All right. And the Lord called you into this light, then hey man, you're just gonna have to hearken, Lord will. All right, so to say he that should endure to the end, the same shall be saved. If it be YAHAWASHI will, to keep us until the end, and we're able to endure, through faith, and we're part of that elect, then we're gonna be saved. All right. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, and verse YAHAWASHI, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but then it's not yet. All right, this is what's taking place right now. All right, and through spiritual lenses, we're able to see where it's going to lead because we have the understanding of the scriptures. All right. It says, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So again, that it's just the beginning. It's like say right here, verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So it ain't even that, it ain't that bad out here right now. You can still go down to your local grocery store, and get food and yada yada. Though you can see the very, very beginning stages of, famines to come. We still, as I said, but the end is not yet. We still gonna have to go through some very, very bad times. All right, but the Lord gonna protect, his chosen, his elect. As I say, what was that? Let me see if I can get this real quick. Slocky. Let me see. Isaiah chapter 59. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So should they fear the name of Yahawah, bahasham from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. All right. So, in these times, these very trying times ahead, if you be part of that elect, all right, whom the Lord is going to preserve until the end, until you get that salvation, then the Lord going to lift up a standard, all right, where that may be, the Lord going to keep you, all right. I'm trying to think of this one precept real quick. I know it's in Job, but I don't know what chapter. Job chapter 5, verse 22. I'm gonna start at. I'll start verse 18. Job chapter 5, verse 18. For he maketh sore and bindeth up. He woundeth, and his hands make whole. All right, again, Isaiah 45, verse 7. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. All right, the YAHAWASHI control all things. All right, the Lord, he kill, he make alive. All right, so we are at the will of Yahweh and YAHAWASHI at the end of the day. It says, for he maketh sore and bindeth up. He wounded, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. All right, and hey, we about to be in the times of trouble. It says, yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. All right, and the elect is going, the elect is going to be beamed up wherever they may be. All right, before that 7th trouble, which is referring to the ICBM missiles, that destruction. Says in 7 there should no evil touch thee. All right, let's see what it says. The 7th trumpet spoken of the book in the book of Revelation, with the 7th trumpet being destruction via the nuclear missiles. The salvation has to occur before the 7th trump. All right, verse 20 says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death. So hey, though there are going to be famines, all right, in a biblical proportion, like to the likes of people I ain't never seen, all right, unless you're down in one of these, third world countries, and that's just how life is. Hey, these people around here, especially America, Bound Great, the fattest nation, most spoiled nation, in the whole world, all right, hey. These people, hey, they gonna be bugged out without no food. All right, but again, the elect, whomever the Lord is gonna preserve, is gonna be all right. Saying, famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and war from the power of the sword. It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither should thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. All right, so again, hey, the Lord gonna lift up that standard, all right. And if you rooted in this faith, you built up, hey, the Lord can put that spirit on you where, you don't need food. You ain't gonna fear nothing. The Lord put that spirit on you where, you 100% believe, all right, that you're gonna be all right. It's gonna be a Lord will at the end of the day. All right, whatever is to take place, and we ain't gonna Lord willing, we ain't gonna have that spirit of fear. That's like say what spirit for we have not the spirit of fear, but a sound mind. Roughly quoting that or paraphrasing that. Let me get that real quick. I think it's in Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For the Most High hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. All right. So back to Job. Job chapter 5, verse 22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither should thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. All right. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And we understand that, just like saying Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Let's get that real quick. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. In red letter, what is YAHAWASHI? So fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. All right, so we understand that, hey, it's going to get so bad these devils is throwing people in prison. All right, the hour of temptation, all right, where they're going to try the whole world, As I say, Revelation 13, 16, chapter 13, verse 16, 17. They plan on implementing that trauma. All right. So fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. Ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. Okay? And hey, if it be Lord will that some of us brothers or sisters or whomever fall in that lot, that's our lot. You know, and what if we get to what it say? Be thou faithful unto death. All right, that's the mindset you're gonna have to be in. All right. Because so I say that was that in what's that, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians? The dead shall rise first. Yeah. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. And also there's one in Revelation too, I think. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the Archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. All right. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet YAHAWASHI in the air. And so shall we ever be with YAHAWASHI. All right. So we'll for comfort one another with these words. And I think that's the one in Revelation I was wanting to. Blessed are they which be dead. Let me see real quick. I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, Revelation. Yeah, Revelation chapter 14. Revelation chapter 14, verse 13. It says, and I heard a voice from heaven say unto me, right blessed are the dead which die in the Lord YAHAWASHI from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. All right, so everybody, you know, whom passed, or you know, whoever lot to be immortal for this truth. All right, you know, it said, blessed are the dead. All right, they at rest. And that's how you gotta look at it. You know, if it be our lot where these devils come roll on us, and you know we gonna, you know, they're like, take this thing, or we're gonna take you out. Well, you know, as long as you in this work, you doing, you know, this laboring in the Lord. Hey, that's the mindset you're gonna have. You know, hey, you know, we're gonna be at rest for a little while. All right, you know. Sirach chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord YAHAWASHI and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? All right. This is one comforting scripture, you know, to lean on, you know, just like I say, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord, YAHAWASHI, with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So, hey, you know, that, man, just like I say, you know, in the times we in now, you know, though it don't seem, you know, so scary out, you know, that, you know, there's, like I say, you can still go down to the grocery store, get some food and whatnot. You know, we still, hey, you know, life as we know it, you know, for the most part, you know, throughout the earth is is, still running, still moving. All right. But in the times that are to come, the beginning of sorrows, Jacob's trouble. All right. Things ain't gonna be readily available. This word, famine of word, famine of bread, water. All right. Cyber, it could be cyber attack. It could shut the grid down. Who knows? All right. All that we know is, hey, it's playing out exactly how, YAHAWASHI set it up too. And we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right. We have faith, and, we just have to lean on, YAHAWASHI. All right. At the end of the day, let's see. I ate the water arcing for the precepts, brother. YAHAWASHI, Brakatah, Brakathum, to all the sincere Akim, Akwathim. Let's see a brother going here. See, brother got a couple. In his likeness, Allah, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? That's fire. All right, again, going into, the title of the lesson, the hammer of the earth. when the destruction take place, these other places, they're gonna be like, is that's America? He's the one that did all that wickedness stuff to earth. It say, verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. That's another thing. America has so many prison facilities set up, more than anyone in the whole earth. All right. They lock up, mainly Jake. All right. The tribes, that's how these devils get down. All right. That's why the Lord, YAHAWASHI, hey, the time, these devils on the clock. That's why. So I say Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Rejoice ye heavens, ye that dwell on them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down to you having great wrath. For he had but a short time. Hey, these devils about to come down with that great wrath, because the time is short. All right. Doomsday clock is ticking. And it's doomsday for Esau's kingdom. All right. But also doomsday for America, battle on the great, which is going to be completely and utterly destroyed by way of thermonuclear fire. All right. That's probably it. But hey, it's a little quick lesson. All right. So giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWAH QADASH. Shalom.